Be Stellar crew. I'm David Wyrick. This is...
Hey, what's up, guys? My name is Alex Ostojic. I am the co-host of this beautiful podcast where we teach you how to be stellar. Today's episode, we're going to talk about how to be grateful for things in your life.
Be thankful. Tomorrow's Thanksgiving.
Yes, happy Thanksgiving, by the way. And how to be grateful. Okay, being grateful for what you have right now gives you the ability to kind of realize that there is something good going on in your life.
Mm-hmm.
There is things that are going good in your life. Not everything's negative. And you can take some of that positive energy of being grateful and channel it into the areas where they need work so you can lift yourself up to the next level. What do you think, David?
Always be thankful. Always be thankful. You know, because you're breathing, right? And, you know, gosh, we live in such a society nowadays that we focus so much on negativity. You know what I mean? Like, we'll focus that our feet hurt, but we have shoes on. There's people all over the world that don't even have shoes.
Oh, dude, I have a story for you, bro.
So,
With
go
the
ahead.
shoes thing,
Go ahead.
So I was in Cambodia in 2011, and we did a training exercise with Cambodian military, Marine Corps, and Cambodian military, and we did this shoot all day. We were out in the boonies, we were shooting. We came back, and we started, they just gave us a few hours of free time, like, hey, go collaborate, talk to Cambodian military, and they like soccer. I'm from Europe. I like soccer.
Football.
Yeah, foosball.
Yeah.
So we start playing soccer, and all of these guys, they don't, their military is not like our military. By the way, we have the best equipped military in the world, hands down, by far.
Maybe other than Iraq at the moment.
No, it doesn't even. Yeah, and Afghanistan actually.
Afghanistan, yeah.
ISIS got
the Middle East. Anyways, go ahead.
Yeah. Anyways, so we start playing soccer, and they walk around in flip flops. So they have like a jersey on top or like a T-shirt.
The football players? Soccer players do?
No, they're military guys.
Military, okay.
They're military,
Yeah.
right? So, they walk around in flip-flops. Then they have usually like the bottom utility uniforms.
The
right?
military?
Yeah, dude.
In flip-flops. Okay,
flip-flops.
go ahead.
And then on top, they have like any shirt. There's no really like
No set
uniformity
standard.
like in the military or like in our military, you're not like that. So we start playing soccer, and I'm in my boots, right? Most of us Marines, we went into the field, nobody brought like running shoes or nothing like that. So we're playing in boots. And these guys, they take their boots off. Not boots off, the flip-flops off. And they're playing completely barefoot.
When you guys are in boots?
When we're in boots. No, we're playing on rocks.
Okay.
I'm talking freaking rocks, like sticking out of the ground where even with the shoe, if you tripped over it, you would fall. If you hit it with the shoe, it would hurt.
Yeah, stone
right?
bruise.
Yep. So we're playing, and I got my foot on the ball. This guy swings really hard. Now check this out. This is an interesting part of the story. Okay, he hits the ball, right, and the bottom of my foot in the same time. Now you gotta remember he's barefoot.
Yeah.
I have boots on.
Right.
I grab my foot and I start crying like a little bitch, and this guy just goes about his day like nothing happened. Okay, that's how tough these guys are. Okay,
The human body's amazing.
they're
man.
freaking tough, man. So at that time, I was so grateful. I was like, you know what? Like, yeah, it sucks. Yes, I'm deployed. Yes, I haven't seen my family in a while. Yes, I'm eating crappy ship food, right? Yes, I'm, out in the boonies, sleeping, under the stars, in the rocks, whatever. But at the end of the day, I have a nice sleeping bag. I have 3 guaranteed meals a day. They can be military MREs, meals ready to eat,
food.
right? But it's food. I have plenty of water. And I have boots to walk around so my feet are not all messed up, right?
Yeah.
So you can find the positive thing in every situation, and then you take those little positive things that make you feel good and you channel into the situation you're in to be able to lift everything up.
To continue
Yeah,
on, to push
to
forward,
continue.
go forward. That's the biggest thing is go forward. Don't turn around and go back.
Yeah.
Go forward. Man, and I'm thankful. Like, be thankful for your family. Be thankful for the people around you. They're a big help because the people around you are going to tell you in your life whether you can be thankful or not. Because you surround yourself with people who are never thankful and they just literally complain about everything. But you look at their life and you're like, bro, you have so much to be thankful for.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like, and you tell them that, they're like what? And I'm like, you have a house, you have clothes on, you ate today, you drank clean water,
Yeah.
like you went to the bathroom in a bathroom, like
That flushes.
that flushes. Yeah, you were able to wash your hands. Like you're breathing clean air. Like you have so much to be thankful for. Life is more than money.
It is.
And I think we lose that because, especially now, a lot of us struggle to pay our bills, and we get so focused on that aspect of like, and for men, or I say for men, nowadays there's a lot of women who provide for the house. So for the breadwinner, right, we determine our value based on whether or not we can pay our bills, based on whether or not we're providing for our family. Because as providers, that's our job. And so if we're not, it's very easy to become ungrateful. It's very easy to feel failure. And we have to learn to push through that and know that that's not going to solve the situation. It's, okay, what can I do to make a few extra dollars this month? Whether you have to sell something, whether you have to maybe pick up a side job on Saturday, raking leaves in your neighbor's yard. Like, you can't be proud. You have to lose your pride.
Yeah.
Like, you have to say, listen, I need help. Regardless of how people feel, like you're talking about your family.
And
But you have the ability to do that.
Yes. Well, if you don't, just think about it this way. Go to the poorest areas in your neighborhood.
Yeah.
Poorest person on the block, find it. Find him or her. And I guarantee you, one thing they have is an ego. Right? Oh, I won't do that. Or, it's instead of just being grateful that something was provided so they can make money, okay, their ego gets in the way of that gratefulness that's coming their way. And then before you know it, they just stay poor because they don't want to change the way, they think, they live, what they want to do, what they don't want to do. Like, once the financial struggle hits and you have family, like, you do what you got to do.
Mm-hmm.
You do what you got to do, right? And you become grateful for that thing that came in your way.
Yeah.
That can feed your family for next week or 3 days or 5 days or whatever it is. And that's where we lose. A lot of people lose a sense of that.
Mm-hmm.
They lose, they just like, remember we talked about this yesterday. I was in the slums for the last 3 days.
Yeah.
And yesterday I was out in the woods, cutting wood, and I covered this big tree, and I'm like, I am so, and then that's when you called back, right? And I was talking to you, but I was really thinking about things, and I was like, you know what? Like, why am I in the slums? Why do I feel like this? Okay, what am I grateful for? I have 3 beautiful, healthy kids. I got a wife that loves me.
Mm-hmm.
I live in a house where I call it a step-up home, right? But most people, if they lived where I live, they're ready to retire and never work again, right? Like, that's the retirement home.
Yeah.
Right? I look at it as a step-up home. Like, I want to move up to, bigger levels than that. And I was like, man, I got all these things. I'm like, it's Tuesday afternoon, and I'm cutting wood. Like, how many people are doing this?
Right. They're trying to get
Like,
home
for
from work.
recreation.
If they have a wood stove, they're trying to get home early from work.
So they
To
can cut wood before
dark.
nightfall. Yeah.
100%, man. Like, like you said, I have 2 beautiful girls and I have a loving wife. And, to tell you a funny story about my wife, last night, I was in the other room and she says, babe, come here. And I'm like, okay. I'm like in go mode, right? Because, when your wife or your kids say, come here, like, in that alert, come here, it's not just like, hey, when you get a minute, it's like, hey, come here quick. So I go in there and I was like, hey, what's up? Is everything okay? She has this mixing bowl flipped over on the floor. She's like, I caught a mouse. I'm like, you caught a mouse? And at first I'm like, my wife's that's pretty insane to catch a mouse with a bowl. I don't know if you've ever seen a mouse run.
Of course.
Like, they're fast, bro. Like, you can't catch a mouse. That's why we got sticky traps and all this stuff to trick them to getting on that so they can't run away because they're quick and anything they can fit their head through, they can fit their body through. I don't know if you knew that. So, how their head is the smallest part of their body, but if they can fit their head through, they can fit their body through. Mm-hmm. So she's got this mixing bowl flipped over. It's cold, so all the critters are starting to come in because they live in the country, so anywhere that they can slip in and be warm. So I'm like, okay, well, what do you want to do with it? And so we start to scoot it over to the back door because she's like, I just want to let it go. And I'm like, I don't want to kill it because I don't want to come back in my house. And so we scooted to the back door. I've got two standard poodles, they're in the way, like trying to figure out what we're doing.
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, hey, we get to the back door. I'm like, hey, get me like a piece of cardboard or get me something to slide underneath this thing, right? And so she does, and she's serious this whole time. Like, as serious as we are right now. Like, she's not laughing, nothing. We get over there and we get to the door, and I'm like, I'm going to flip this over so I can carry it out, right? Then I flip that thing over, a computer mouse comes flying out. It's a computer mouse. And I just threw the bowl in the air and I went, oh my God, you are a nerd. But I'm thankful for that, though, because, like, dude, I laughed.
Yeah,
And laughter is such a good medicine, man.
after like 16 hours of work all day,
Oh,
grinding.
you know what? Just after anything, just after just having life hard, like, just be happy.
Yeah.
Happiness is a choice. It doesn't have to depend on your situation, but, man, you know what? Like, you look around, like, I'll lay in bed, and I'm like, I'm laying in a bed. I got a heater on.
Yeah.
Like, I'm in pajamas. You know what I mean? Like, my kids have beds to sleep in. We ate dinner last night.
Yeah.
Like, there's
You're
so...
in top 10% in the U.S. if you have, not in the world if you have that afforded.
Yeah, because you've been to other countries
I've been all
where,
over the place, man.
you know what it's like to see third world. To people not have... I think you've actually told me a story about, like, clean water.
Yeah, so we were in Philippines, and, we set up at this area of Philippines called Crow Valley.
Mm-hmm.
We set up our little FOB, forward operating base, right? We put like sea wire around and put up our tents, and as military we have our MREs to eat. We have they gave us like 4 bottles of water a day, the big bottles, like a liter bottles.
Because they want you to drink a lot of water.
Yeah,
and not
it was
to be
very hot.
Yeah.
It was August, right?
super humid too, right?
Yeah, super humid, super hot. It rained all the time, right? It was just crazy,
Monsoon.
right? Yeah, but it was so we're sitting over there, and we drive, we walk, right? We were able to get out of a little base where we were at and go into town and, come back, and, next day it rains. It rains a lot. And I'm looking from the base. I just come in the morning out of the tent. I wake up, I look, and there's a little girl drinking water out of the pond, like a little puddle on the floor, like on the ground where Humvee tires go through, where I was stepping.
Like dirty water.
Like dirty water. Like, and she was drinking water, like my boots stepped in that puddle.
Yeah.
Over the course of the time that we were there, and she was drinking water out of there, man. And it really, dude, I'm telling you, when I came to the U.S., I became a shithead, right? I came from nothing. I started making some money. Well, what I thought it was money. Right now, I think it's chump change. But, I started making money. I had no bills. I lived with my parents, and I turned into like this spoiled, ungrateful shithead, right? They just blew all the money on everything, did whatever the hell I wanted. And then all of a sudden I got an idea to go into the military. And God works in mysterious ways.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe one of the reasons, because, I looked to go to Afghanistan, I looked to go to Iraq, I asked for it, they never sent me, right? So, but I was able to go to these other poor countries like Thailand and Philippines and
Kuwait, right?
Kuwait,
Where's
a few other
Kuwait?
ones, right? Huh?
Where is Kuwait?
Right by Iraq. The borders
Okay.
of Iraq.
Okay.
But I went over there, and I believe like the God kind of put me in those countries so I can remind myself of where I come from.
Mm-hmm.
Like, not that we were ever like drinking water out of the puddles and stuff like that, but it's like, I was very ungrateful. I was a very unhappy kid, angry kid. Parents never got along. So I dealt with all the crap where I come from. Refugee camps, civil wars. Then we came to the States, same crap that all American families deal with. Family drama. I'm talking like it's just like no money, right? It's just crazy, right? So I was reminded of, hey, you live, and I'm telling you, man, like when I moved to Okinawa, Japan, and I started looking, and I was like, man, I need to go like on the entrepreneur route. I have so much shit to offer. Like I have huge life experience that I can put on the table in front of anybody that I sit in front of, right? And then I just started thinking, like, why would I do this? Why would I go entrepreneur route? Why do I want to start my own business? And I was like, because I have a story. And then I reminded myself through everything that I've been through. And I was like, and then I did this in the United States, and then God put me in this uniform to put me in other countries to remind myself.
Is
I
what you
believe
came
that's
from.
literally
Yeah,
how.
because man, we're about the same age, and if you think about like when you're 7, going through Civil War, like 7 years old, I was riding my bike, playing with my friends.
Yeah.
Like not a care in the world,
Well,
bro.
we were also, you know, we had very small town.
Mhm.
I had friends that I grew up with, and we were playing in the prairie between our homes.
Mhm.
And you know,
But I wasn't worried about bombs.
the grenades do whistle when they come in.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But I like that. So that was, but that was a
Boom, you know?
normal thing for you. Whereas
Yeah.
me at 7 years old, dude, I'd have been like scared to death because.
We were.
Well, I know, but I'm just saying, like, I never had to experience that,
Yeah.
and I pray that I never have to.
Yeah.
But like, you know, the experience though is like, really, looking back, I'm thankful that I was
Yeah.
born in America and I was raised by. I mean, my mom was a good mom. You know what I mean? And like, I'm just thankful for that. And like, so what we're trying to say, and as you change your outlook, your perspective, to be grateful, to be thankful, you'll find that you're actually more productive. You'll find that you can actually produce more because you're not worried about the negative things you can't change. Because we get so stuck on things that we literally have no control over.
Yes.
You know, we do, but it's like you have to take small steps to change those things. It's not something you could literally change tomorrow. You know what I mean? It's you have to start taking small steps. But if you start being grateful, you start taking the small steps on your own without ever realizing that that's what you're doing. You just start taking those small steps. You know, because you're being thankful. I have the ability to go to work. I have the ability to go do these. I have the ability to eat better. I have the ability to make more money. I've just got to find the avenue to get me there. And you know what? You're in America. There's an avenue. Somewhere
There is a way
there's
here.
an avenue for you to go and make money. You just have to put the work in. And that's where a lot of people fail. God, we have so many lazy people in this country.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm not even ashamed to say it. Like, you can be mad all you want. There are lazy people in this country. Look, drive down the road. Dude, everybody is hiring. Everyone. People are offering sign-on bonuses
Yep.
because people are lazy. They
They
just
wanna
want
work.
somebody to give them money.
And there is workers. They just don't want to work.
They,
They just don't want to work.
because they hate their job.
And that's my other thing, man. We always talk about on this podcast. It's supposed to kind of make you be stellar, right?
Yeah,
You
reach for the top.
reach for the top. You know, find whatever you want to do. Figure yourself out. Become stellar.
Become
you
stellar.
know?
Don't quit. Become stellar.
And if your goal in life is just to be a guy that operates a machine in a steel mill or something like that, like there's nothing wrong with it. If that's what you want to do,
But be stellar when you're doing
be
it.
stellar when you're doing it.
100%.
Like it's- and be grateful that you can get up every morning, sit in a car, turn on heat,
Or ride a bike.
right?
Or walk.
Ride up, whatever. Yeah.
You know, however your transportation is.
Yes, whatever your transportation is, because it could be worse.
100%.
You could not have legs and you can't even walk to work.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So the situation always could be worse, right? So whatever you have. So if you're just grateful about what you have, so instead of being like, man, I really want that, like Andrew Tate, what color is your Bugatti, right? So if you want to have that Bugatti and you can't get it, don't concentrate on a Bugatti. Concentrate on what you have right now, be grateful,
Yeah.
and work towards the Bugatti if you want one.
Right.
And you take proper steps. It's a process. You got to work on it. It's not going to be easy. It's going to be hard.
That's a total status.
People gonna push you aside. People gonna tell you can't do it. You're gonna fail. You're gonna lose contracts. You're gonna lose business partners. It's gonna everything. But guess what? It's a process that's put in place by God to make you stronger.
You know what's funny? Completely change the subject.
Yeah.
Did you see that Andrew Tate's they're trying to talk to him about fighting Jake Paul?
Yeah, they scheduled it.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch that. I want to
Yeah.
watch it.
So these two guys are freaking smart. Okay, same thing with who was it? Conor McGregor
And Floyd Mayweather.
and Floyd Mayweather. It's like this. It's like, hey David, what's up, man? You taking over the internet? Me too. You want to talk shit to each other online and
Just beat the crap out of each other.
yeah, just we'll figure out who's going to knock each other who.
Offer still stands. $100 million. You can punch me in the face.
Yep, there you go. There
Offer
you
still
go.
stands.
There you go. Hey, we'll both make
Jake
like a
Paul,
couple
I will
hundred
fight
million.
you.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll fight Andrew Tate. You pay me $10 million. We'll fight.
Yeah.
Let's go right now.
Knock me out.
Yeah,
let the whole world.
I mean, I'll fight. I don't know how well, but I'll fight.
That's crazy. So like what they're doing right now is they're building everything up. Everybody's talking about it, and then once they actually get a deal and set the date, the pay-per-view and all that shit, they're gonna bring in $1 billion.
And I haven't
a day.
wanted to watch any of Jake Paul's fights because I don't really care. But as mouthy as Andrew Tate is, I
Yeah.
just want to watch. I want to see what happens.
And that's the thing, you
Because
know.
they're both mouthy, and like I just want to. I mean, I probably catch the highlights the next day. I don't know if I actually watched the whole
Yeah,
thing,
yeah.
but like, I want to know what happens.
Hey, are you willing to take less money and lose your reputation a little bit? You know, like,
Yeah.
okay, you
It's
know
fixed,
what? Knock
yeah.
me out and like, hey, you were telling everybody you can knock me up in second round. Hey, I want 600 million for this fight instead of 100 million.
600.
Knock me out, and then
Yeah.
cool. You get bragging rights.
There are some
Cool,
good
no
fight-
problem.
Some good fights coming up. I don't know if you keep track of UFC, but John Jones is finally going to fight again, which he was my favorite fighter whenever he was still fighting. He's going to fight Francis Ngannou.
I don't even know what that is.
So look him up. He's the hardest puncher in the world right now.
Yeah.
Like they say, it's like if he punches you, it's like getting hit by a little car.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like
Wow.
ridiculous. And John Jones is a great technical fighter. And so it's interesting to fight in like March. I just saw it today.
Uh huh.
So I'm thankful that I have the ability to watch that stuff and
Yeah,
look at it. That's what I'm
exactly.
saying. Like, be thankful.
Exactly. Don't matter what
Like,
Where
because
you're
if
at
I'm
the-
living in, poor country, I don't even have the ability to like watch TV or
nothing,
listen to
man.
the radio or do anything.
Dude,
You know what I
people
mean?
People in other countries, man, that would. No wonder everybody wants to come to the United States. Remember, I was telling you earlier about the lady that wanted to sell me a baby in Thailand.
Yeah.
Imagine being so poor that you're willing to sell your kid for $100.
How much is what is Filipino money?
No, it was in Thailand, so it was bots.
Bots?
So $1 is like, I can't remember. I think it was like 90 bots or 120 bots or something like that. in
Now it
Thailand.
actually buy like how much does stuff cost there?
It's cheap, man. So
Yeah.
like we got a 5-star hotel for like $20 a night.
Wow.
Like it was.
Power of the dollar, bro.
No, it's pretty cheap, man. It was pretty cheap. But
But it
imagine
teaches
being
you to
so
be-
poor.
Yeah,
Imagine being so poor where I don't think there's money in the world
they sell you kids for.
that I would sell my little baby girl for. Like I don't care if somebody dropped $150 billion in front of me. So you never, like they're just so crazy to me,
Have
man.
you ever watched Blues Brothers?
I did.
that part where he turns around. How much for the little girl? I
don't remember that part, but I watched Blues
He's
Brothers.
trying to get the guy, the maitre d', to come back and be in their band. And so he said they're being,
Great movie.
being ornery, and he turns around and how much for the little girl?
I remember the part. So the scene on the bridge when the bridge goes up and the car is stuck on top.
Yeah,
And then he falls into the river.
yeah.
That's on 95th and Commercial Bridge in Chicago, south side of Chicago. That's literally like 5 minutes from where I used to live.
Oh, really?
That's where it's filmed. So the Blues Brothers, like Chicago was
We're
like.
getting the band back together.
Yeah, we're getting the band. I like the sunglasses and stuff. It's pretty cool.
But just be thankful. Like that's the message for today. Like take a minute, take some time, count your blessings.
Yeah.
Be thankful.
So if you're depressed right now and you're listening to this podcast, I want you to think about this. You're probably in a house. You're probably on a Wi-Fi. And you're probably listening to this podcast either on
Computer, cell
Spotify
phone.
or YouTube. It's probably like at least a couple of $100 device, electronic device that you're listening to this on. Most likely you have water and heat. And I'll tell you right now, you're ahead of 85% of the world's population right now. So just by being able to listen to this podcast somewhere, be grateful that you can because you're so far ahead. It's just you're
Just
ahead
learn to
of,
be
like-
grateful.
Yeah.
Learn to be grateful. There's generally somebody has it worse than what you have,
Oh yeah.
with no ability to get out of the situation that they're in.
Yes.
So
Yes.
be grateful. Be stellar. Don't forget to be stellar. Push the people around you to be stellar.
Yes.
Lift people up. We believe in business. Let me push you up so you can in turn turn around and pull me
Pull
up.
me up.
We want people to be stellar. We want to help pull you up, and we want to help push the people above us up.
Share ideas.
Yeah.
Don't
Workshop.
talk about people. Talk about ideas.
Don't be negative.
Okay. Don't bring. If you go down the rabbit hole into the negative stuff, you're gonna drag yourself down real fast, real
Real
quick.
fast.
So don't listen to negative stuff. Don't listen to the news. Okay.
Oh my gosh. I almost want to
CNN,
quit reading it.
constant negative news. CNN,
Oh
Cloud
my
News
gosh.
Network, whatever you want to call it. Don't listen to any newscasts or whatever you call it, broadcasts. Um, and when you watch TV, pay attention to what you're watching. Like
Everything
if
you
you
watch and
notice-
listen to will go into your brain.
if you notice, pretty much new TV shows, movies, every time. So
Have an agenda.
we in the society, in American society, have accepted this depression thing. Okay, depression is self-made, I believe. Okay, and this is what it is. If you only watch movies and TV shows where people are depressed, they're always on different pills. They're always alcoholic. Alcoholics. They drink. They're negative. That chances are that's going to transfer to you. Like think about it this way. When was the last time you watched a TV show where there was no somebody that's on drugs and somebody that's on alcohol? Like somebody that's alcoholic. Like how many TV shows is out there where nobody's fighting any of that? It's just all positive and beautiful.
Well, those shows don't last.
Yeah, they don't last. Nobody wants
Bob
to watch.
Ross, bro.
So people are automatically attracted to negativity. And
Most of those shows though show a lifestyle that most Americans want, and so
It
they
makes you
watch
depressed
it
right
because
away.
yeah, in depression, you say depression is self-made. I say depression is a spirit. And the thing is I tell my girls this: what you take in is what you will put out. So if you surround yourself with people that are negative, you will become negative. You can only be positive for so long. There's a few exceptions out there, but you'll find yourself getting away from the people. You'll be the exception because you got away from them.
Yeah.
But what you take in is what you will put out. So if you're surrounding yourself, if you're listening to music that's sad and depressing or about gangbanging or about all this stuff, guess what? You'll find that rhetoric, you'll find those actions, you'll find those things taking hold, and you'll start to do those things.
You know what's crazy? There's a lot of stuff coming out these days. Like a lot of stuff is coming out from underground stuff. So I was watching about how rap, when it came out, it was designed to keep the communities down, right? And they had to use in order to be signed up with big producer houses, like music houses and stuff like that, you would have to use specific words in every song just so people can listen to them over and over.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And you couldn't say Jesus
Mm-hmm.
in songs, you couldn't say God, you couldn't say anything positive, you only had to be negative. And dude, it was just it really opened up my eyes, how as society we are exposed to so much negativity. And no wonder society is negative. No wonder the world's going in the wrong direction.
Sure.
No wonder, us as one of the strongest countries in the world, look at our youth.
We're imploding.
And this is the thing, we don't, just look around. United States does not have to fall right now. Just wait 30 years till all these kids right now grow up.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. In 20 years, 30 years, we're
Well,
toast.
it's work on the next generation, but if we can teach people to be stellar, to be positive, to go against the common thought of negativity, and to be thankful for what they have, you change the world. That's it. Be thankful.
Yeah, be
be
thankful,
grateful.
everybody.
Be thankful. Have a great Thanksgiving. Tune in next week. We'll have another episode for you. I don't know if we have a guest next week or not.
We're supposed to be. Yeah, we have a guest tomorrow. Next week. We have one lined up. Hopefully everything goes through and we don't reschedule again. But
We'll see what happens.
we'll see you guys next week. Have an outstanding Thanksgiving. Make sure when you're, really sit around the table with your family and figure out what you're
Put your
thankful
phone
for.
down.
And figure out what you're thankful for. Enjoy the food. Thank God for the food that you have, because most people don't have it. Thank God for the soda or wine or whatever you're going to drink that day, right? Because most people don't, a lot of people in the world don't have, just because your neighbor has it, okay, doesn't mean that everybody in the world has it.
Go around
right?
the table. Tell everybody what you're thankful for.
Yeah.
For 'em. It's called Thanksgiving.
Yeah, be thankful
Thanksgiving.
for everything in your life, and before you know it, the positive energy from that is going to take out and transfer over to the negative things that are going on in your life, and you're going to be able to turn those into the positive things as well.
Good vibes only. Be stellar.
Be
Catch you
stellar.
next week.
Talk to you guys next week.